this video, we'll be changing brake pads and the brake rotor. First thing I'm gonna do is turn the wheel so I can conveniently access the necessary parts. Use a 14mm socket and a hand tool of your choice to remove the caliper mounting hardware. Use a pry bar or a screwdriver to pry loose the caliper. After the floating caliper is out, strap the caliper to the coil spring. This helps relieve tension on the brake hose. Use a 15mm socket and a hand tool of your choice to loosen the bolts which are on the caliper bracket. Now that the caliper bracket is out of the way, now we can remove the old rotor. Clean the new brake rotor and install it. After installing it, hold it with one of the wheel nuts so it can stay in place while you install the caliper mounting bracket. Now that the brake rotor has been secured in place, now we can install the brake clips on the mounting bracket. Make sure this clip is securely installed and it doesn't move around or fall. Next thing to do is to mount the caliper bracket. Once the caliper bracket is in place, locate the hole and install the bolts to use to hold it in place. I'm gonna turn the wheel towards myself for easy access and visibility. Now we can mount the bracket and install the bolts. Do not tighten the bolts until you've installed both the top and bottom to the thread. Now that the bracket is in place, we can tighten it using a 15mm socket. Now that the bracket is firmly bolted, now we can install the brake pads one at a time. Before we install the floating caliper, we need to push the piston in using a G-clamp and one of the old brake pads. Put the old brake pad on the surface of the piston, then install the G-clamp as seen in this video. Once everything is properly installed, you can start spinning the G-clamp handle, and that way it pushes in the piston. Push the piston in until it's flush to the surface. As you can see, the brake pad is now flush to the surface of the piston. As you can see, the piston is now flush to the body of the caliper. Now that the piston is flush to the body, we are ready to install the floating caliper. So we just carefully place it back onto the mounting bracket and install the mounting hardware. It's always a good idea to install this by hand and then tighten it with a tool of your choice. While installing the mounting hardware, make sure the caliper pin head is flush to the mounting hole. That's why you see me moving it around to make sure I get it to the right position where it is flush to the mounting hole. Now that everything is in place, we can use a 14mm socket and a hand tool of our choice to fasten and tighten the bolt. After this is done, you want to do a quick check to make sure the floating caliper is moving smoothly. Push it back and forth, check for free movement. If the movement is not smooth enough, that means you need to grease the brake, and I have uploaded a video of how to get this done. Now that we're done with the installation, this is the most important step. Pump your brake 10 to 15 times until it is hard. This is very important. Yeah, that's it. Now we're done, and yeah, remember to subscribe, like and share this video if it was helpful.